Linda here, the Scrapbooking Photographer. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by for today's hop, which is combining two. We've got Rainbow Crush, hosted by Tara O'Rourke on the Paper Snob community. And the colour this month for Rainbow Crush, you'll never guess, is turquoise. We're also doubling up with the Get in Shape hop, which is run by Miranda Weber, and the shape this month is circles. So what I have chosen are some photos that I did a few years ago for an organisation who had therapy dogs, and they were just gorgeous puppies, and we did a bit of a Christmas shoot. So we did some formal shots of them, but I've printed these pictures out because I put a turquoise background in for them, as that was their brand colours. You can see it on the little tag here, and we scattered around some decorations in that colour as well. There is a red bit in there, but we'll just ignore that, and we will go ahead with some double-sided Stampin Up paper, and I've gutted the middle out of it and cut a piece out to mount a photo. So then I'll bring the white willow in, and I've already cut 1 inch off 2 sides, so we get quite a significant border, more than I usually put, but because it's a turquoise layout, I wanted as much of that to show through as possible. So we've got 1/2 inch of that all the way around, and I thought I'd use a really basic layout with this puppy looking in, this one looking down here. And I don't think I need to mount those because they can have a little white frame around them down the side. But this guy, I will put a backing behind and just bring him down with a little bit of white because he doesn't have the turquoise background himself. So for the circles is where we're going to have some fun. I have cut some out already in 3 different colours of turquoise and also in a white glimmer paper. So I've got one more load to cut out, and we're never going to use them all on this layout, but I guess there'll be a companion page, or I can put them on cards or use them somewhere else. They always come in handy. So while I've got the cardstock there going through the Cuttlebug, I figured I might as well cut as many as I could. So you'll see here I've already cut some of the white glitter paper out, and I just thought I'd show you the different dies that I'm using to get a variety. So these are the stylish shapes from Stampin Up, and I've got 2 of those on there. And I've also had these little dog tag type things from Close to My Heart. I've had them for years, and there's a whole variety of sizes from that size to that size. So I'll just chuck one of those in there to fill in that gap. And then this is an old card layout from Close to My Heart as well, which punches out the circles and leaves you with this beautiful perforated bit in the background. So it's not going to completely fit on there. In fact, it would if we put it through separately. So we'll go through twice. We'll make that one. And those stylish shapes from Stampin Up do a great job of stitching. You can't probably see it as easily on here, but they stitch on the inside of the circle and also on the outside, around the outside. So those would be usable as well. So I'll pop those to one side and just centre that again to get as many circles out of this cardstock, and also have the usable card cut out, which we'll be able to use on a card. Alright, so that'll work well on a card. I'll put that to one side with the other bits, and then we've got some more glittery circles. So So all the circles are there in the one pile, and the first thing I'm going to do is use an embossing folder. It's kind of Christmassy flavoured, so I will put a selection of different colours in there, but not the glimmer paper, because I've found the glimmer paper doesn't emboss very well. So I'll put a variety of sizes and colours, and a couple in there with the extra tag that makes them look like decorations. And once I've put them through the Cuttlebug, you can see that the embossing comes through really well, and that will give us one sort of decoration to use when we put our circles together. The second thing I'm going to do is use an old branding strip from Close to My Heart. I keep them all in a folder in a binder, so when it's useful to use the colour, I can bring them out. So this one has little snowflakes on it, but it's a perfect colour for a turquoise hop. So I'll go through and just use one strip of it. And again, I'm using a variety of different circles to put them on. So I've used the glimmer paper, which looks good with the white on it, and this lighter colour that shows up the dark. And then when I've put the strips on, I am cutting from the back, because I always find it's a little neater if I turn it over the other way and cut around the outline on the back. There's a little bit left there, so I'll find a couple more, maybe just a little bit on this wee circle, and then we'll have one left for one more. So we'll end up with a variety within each kind of way that we decorate these circles, and so I'm hoping that they'll look like Christmas decorations around the page. So this is our last one, I believe, and it's another white glimmer one, which I think look really festive. So that's another sort. The next group I'm going to do is with the shimmery texture paste. So this shimmery texture paste has a little sparkle going through it. It's from Stampin Up, and I'm going to not use very much of it because I don't want a heap left over. So I'm using Pool Party Refill, so I can drop a couple of little drips into the texture paste and then mix it up really well so that the colour is all even. I use the back of the spatula to take the paste out of the jar and also to mix it and to spread it. So I've got a stencil here which I actually used the other day and I didn't particularly enjoy it, but I'm giving it another go today on a smaller scale, and I think that will work better. And spreading the texture paste through all those holes, and then I use this palette knife to smooth it off over the top, and that's come out just the way I want it. So I'll do a few more with that. I'll try it on the glitter paper. I wasn't quite sure how that would work, but it works fine. So I'll do a couple of those, and these are going to be overlapped when they go into the page, so it doesn't really matter if some of the texture paste sticks around the outside. And I'll do a couple in the spots as well, and then I'll finish off with some on the hearts. But I'm trying to use all of this texture paste up, as I mentioned, so I will scrape some off the stencil and get all that excess to be used up. And then on the last one, I'll scrape it all up off the little silicone mat as well, just to make sure I've got every last little bit. I really like the way the glitter is coming through in this shimmery paste. So the shimmery paste has got that just tiny little sparkle, and when you colour it, it still comes through as well. So I'm really happy with the way those have come out. I'm just doing this last one, I think, on the glitter paper. Texture paste is going further than I remembered. So finish up, and then I'll go and clean everything up and ready for the next one. So the next one I'm bringing in is a stamp from the Ornamental Christmas. So I've put a piece of scrap paper underneath, and again I'm using Pool Party ink and just randomly stamping the middle of it across. I wasn't quite sure how it would work on the bigger stamp, and it doesn't quite go to the edges, but that's okay, because as I say, we'll probably be covering things up. The other ones, it gives some quite good coverage too. So we end up with some piles of different circles. We've got stamped ones, we've got embossed ones, we've got plain ones, we've got texture paste ones, and we've got some with the branding strips on them. So I'll pop all those to one side for now and get everything stuck down on the layout. So I'm putting the double-sided tape right near the edge of the white so that it will fit on the piece that I've left around the gutting piece. And then I'll just dry fit these circles. Now, it takes me a little while, so I've sped this up a bit quicker. And what I'm trying to do is combine the different colours so that there's contrast between each one, and also the different designs. So try not to put two stamped ones together or two embossed ones together, and not two dark ones or two light ones, that kind of thing. So I've got 3 areas, one down that bottom left, one up the top where the heading will go, and one on the right where I'll do a little bit of journaling. In fact, I think I journal on the right and a little bit in that gap down the bottom as well. I will put some more in once I've done the title, but to start with, I'm really happy with the way this comes together, and I'm actually quite surprised at how many I used of those circles. I'm really happy that I did so many of those card fronts, because it took more circles than I would have imagined. So now that the basic layout's done, I've just got a couple of extra ones that I add, because I really don't want to have any of the texture paste ones left. So I'm just kind of tucking them in here and there to use them up. The title of this page is going to be Christmas Pups, and I'm going to put that up on the left hand corner using the Christmas word from the Merry Christmas in the traditional labels stamp set. I'll pop in a little bit of sponge underneath, and again using Pool Party ink, I'll pop Christmas in the middle, and then getting out the pen pal alphabet from close to my heart, I'll add the word pups. So obviously I have to do the PU first, and then take the U off and put an S after the P so that we can get the whole word to say pups. And once the stamping's finished, I can add a few more of the circles around the left and the right of that title, just to make it a little bit more enclosed. And I do hope that you get an opportunity to see what other people have done for this Rainbow Crush hop for turquoise, and also for the Get in Shape hop for circles. So the playlist to both of those will be down below in the description. So take some time and have a look, and please show some love to the creators on your way through the list so that everybody knows that you're enjoying what you see. I'll add some sequins into these little gaps here, and I have an awful job doing it, so I'm not going to show you too much of it. The glue just didn't work very well, but I have done my journaling, and there is the completed page for these 2 hops. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. I certainly enjoyed creating it, and I hope you can perhaps push the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and happy crafting!